If you've ever experienced a stabbing pain in your heel when you take your first steps in the morning, you might be dealing with plantar fasciitis. Plantar fasciitis is an inflammation of the plantar fascia. Now you might be wondering, what is this plantar fascia? Well, simply, it is a thick band of tissue that runs across the bottom of your foot, connecting your heel bone to your toes. Think of the plantar fascia as a structure that supports the arch of your foot and acts as a shock absorber when you walk, run, or jump. This remarkable tissue helps distribute the forces of weight-bearing activities throughout your foot, allowing for smooth, pain-free movement. However, when the plantar fascia experiences excessive stress or strain, tiny tears can develop within the tissue. Your body responds to these micro-injuries with inflammation, causing the characteristic pain and stiffness associated with plantar fasciitis. Importantly, what's happening isn't simply inflammation. It's actually a degenerative process where the tissue begins to break down faster than your body can repair it. This is why some medical professionals prefer the term plantar fasciopathy to more accurately describe the condition. Unlike acute injuries that heal within a predictable time frame, plantar fasciitis develops gradually over time. Symptoms of plantar fasciitis. The hallmark symptom of plantar fasciitis is a sharp, stabbing pain near the heel, typically most intense with the first few steps after periods of inactivity. This characteristic first step pain occurs when you get out of bed in the morning or stand up after sitting for an extended period. During these rest periods, the plantar fascia slightly contracts. When you suddenly place weight on it, the tissue must stretch, pulling on the already irritated attachment at the heel bone and triggering that distinctive pain. As you continue to move around, the pain often subsides somewhat as the fascia warms up and becomes more flexible. However, prolonged standing, walking, or activity typically causes the pain to return or intensify by the end of the day. The discomfort isn't always limited to the heel. Many people experience pain along the arch of the foot as well, particularly when pressing on or stretching this area. Other than the pain, many people describe a sensation of stiffness or tightness along the bottom of the foot, making it feel as though the foot doesn't want to flex properly during walking. Some notice increased pain when going upstairs or standing on tiptoes, which are activities that place additional stress on the plantar fascia. After extended activity, you might experience throbbing or aching that continues even after you've stopped moving and taken weight off the affected foot. While plantar fasciitis primarily causes pain on the bottom of the foot, some people develop compensatory pain in other areas. You might notice discomfort in your calf muscles, knee, hip, or lower back as your body unconsciously alters your walking pattern to avoid heel pain. These changes in gait can create a series of misalignments and stress throughout your joints. Causes of plantar fasciitis. Plantar fasciitis develops when excessive strain is placed on the plantar fascia, causing it to become irritated and inflamed. This strain can result from repetitive stress or overuse, particularly in people who engage in high-impact activities such as running, jumping, or prolonged standing. Poor footwear that lacks proper arch support or cushioning can also increase the likelihood of developing the condition, as it fails to absorb the impact of walking and places more stress on the plantar fascia. Having flat feet or high arches can also contribute to plantar fasciitis, as both conditions affect the way weight is distributed across the foot, leading to uneven pressure on the fascia. Being overweight or obese increases the load on the feet, making the plantar fascia more susceptible to strain and damage. Tight calf muscles or an Achilles tendon that is not flexible can also alter foot mechanics and lead to increased tension in the plantar fascia. Other than that, sudden changes in physical activity, such as increasing workout intensity or switching to a new exercise routine without proper conditioning, can also trigger plantar fasciitis. Aging is another factor, as the plantar fascia loses elasticity over time, making it more prone to small tears and irritation. Finally, work-related activities that involve prolonged standing, particularly on hard surfaces, can continuously stress the foot and contribute to the development of plantar fasciitis. Before we continue, if you have been finding the video helpful so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Diagnosis of plantar fasciitis. Plantar fasciitis is typically diagnosed through a thorough physical examination and a review of symptoms. A doctor will ask about the nature of the pain, its location, and the activities that worsen or relieve it. During the examination, the doctor will press on different areas of the foot to identify points of tenderness, particularly along the bottom of the heel. The doctor may also assess flexibility and range of motion by asking the patient to stretch the foot and toes, checking for tightness in the calf muscles and Achilles tendon. In most cases, imaging tests are not necessary for diagnosis, but in situations where the pain is severe or does not improve with initial treatment, an X-ray may be recommended to rule out other conditions such as stress fractures or bone spurs. In rare cases, an MRI may be ordered if symptoms persist despite treatment, as this can provide a more detailed view of the soft tissues and reveal any underlying issues that may be contributing to the pain. Blood tests are not typically required, but they may be conducted if inflammatory conditions like rheumatoid arthritis are suspected as a contributing factor. Treatment for plantar fasciitis. Managing plantar fasciitis effectively typically requires a comprehensive approach tailored to your specific situation. Number 1. Rest and activity modification. The first step in treatment involves reducing stress on the injured plantar fascia to allow healing to begin. This doesn't necessarily mean stopping all activity, but rather modifying your routine to avoid movements that provoke pain. Consider temporarily reducing high-impact activities like running or jumping in favor of low-impact options such as swimming, cycling, or rowing that maintain fitness without stressing the plantar fascia. In some cases, you're allowed to continue activity at a level that doesn't increase pain. For some, this might mean shorter workouts, reduced intensity, or more rest days between sessions. Number 2. Physical therapy and stretching. A structured physical therapy program can address both the symptoms and underlying causes of plantar fasciitis. Specific stretches for the calf muscles and plantar fascia help improve flexibility and reduce tension on the fascia. One of these is the classic wall calf stretch, which is performed with the back leg straight and knee slightly bent. This stretch targets different portions of the calf muscle complex. Dedicated plantar fascia stretching, on the other hand, involves pulling your toes back toward your shin while seated, sometimes using a towel for assistance. Foam rolling or using a tennis ball to massage the bottom of the foot can also help release tension in the fascia itself. Number 3. Footwear and support. Proper footwear provides crucial support during the healing process. Look for shoes with good arch support, adequate cushioning, and a slightly elevated heel to reduce tension on the plantar fascia. Replace worn-out shoes regularly, as they lose their supportive properties over time, even if they still look presentable externally. Orthotic inserts or custom-made shoe inserts can also provide additional support and help distribute weight more evenly across the foot, reducing strain on the affected area. Number 4. Pain management. Various approaches can help control pain during the healing process. Ice therapy, particularly after activity or at the end of the day, helps reduce inflammation and discomfort. Try freezing a water bottle and rolling your foot over it for a combination of ice therapy and gentle massage. Over-the-counter anti-inflammatory medications like ibuprofen or naproxen can provide temporary relief. For persistent pain, your doctor might recommend a corticosteroid injection to reduce inflammation. While these can provide significant short-term relief, they're typically limited to a few injections per year due to potential tissue weakening with repeated use. Number 5. Newer therapies. Extracorporeal shockwave therapy is a treatment option that delivers focused shock waves to stimulate healing in the plantar fascia. This non-invasive procedure has shown good results for chronic cases that haven't responded to other treatments. Newer interventions like platelet-rich plasma injections use components from your own blood to stimulate tissue repair and regeneration, though these treatments are still considered somewhat experimental for plantar fasciitis. Number 6. Surgery. For the small percentage of people who don't improve with conservative measures after 6 to 12 months, surgical options might be considered. Plantar fascia release surgery involves cutting part of the fascia to relieve tension, either through an open procedure or less invasive endoscopic techniques. At the end, with patience, consistent self care, and appropriate medical intervention when needed, most people return to their preferred activities without ongoing limitations. Now, we want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced plantar fasciitis? What was the most effective treatment or remedy that worked for you? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.